Good evening. Live from New York, the CC Radio Network is proud to bring you tonight's show, The Rebellious Rev and the Doc, where we talk about religion like you've never heard before. There's no evangelists here, just talk about religion with a twist. So let's get started and have some fun. Welcome our hosts for tonight, The Rebellious Rev and the Doc.
There is no heaven. There is no hell. There is only this world and its dark reflection. And we do not know in which of the two worlds we are.
Ongoing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life forms and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before. Space, the final frontier.
Well, not quite.
Well, I don't know. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
Yeah, I know, space.
5-year mission to boldly go where no man has gone before.
That's the same thing with death.
Well, let's put it this way. Right now, if he could, Leonard Nimoy would tell us because he's dead.
Yeah.
However, like the man said after our initial song introducing us, I'm Dr. Mark, and my co-host here is Felix. And,
yes, I am.
And there is no heaven, there is no hell, but I don't know. Maybe there is.
Yeah, we don't know.
You know, we don't. That's the whole point of this show, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to discuss whether or not there is an afterlife. Do we have anything to look forward to? I mean, is it like the Garden of Eden and paradise before Adam and Eve fell from grace?
I don't know.
And is hell the way St. John the Divine described it?
I don't know.
What was that?
Fascinating for Mr. Spock.
Well,
he said if he could, he would answer you. And what he said was, in his own voice,
Fascinating.
that's true. It is fascinating. Well, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if there was something more when we die? I remember when my mom passed away, and, you know, people would ask me and everything, and I said the same thing about my dad, too, for that matter. What makes death palatable is, for me anyway, the fact that I honestly believe that there is something more when we die. I know Harry Houdini hasn't come back. You know, Eric Weiss, that was his real name. He said if he could, he would be back to let us know. There are people that are still waiting to hear from him from beyond the grave. And maybe that's the curse of man. You ever think about that, Felix?
no, what do you mean?
Well, I mean the fact that even if we do find out, no one's ever going to come to tell us.
Well, that's true. That's why it says it's the final journey.
Well, our number here is 646-595-3275. For those listening, I know that you have an opinion about whether there is life after death. We can't prove it, so it has to come from within. It has to come from your gut. It has to come from faith. It has to come from whatever you want to call it, really.
I mean, even for the atheists in us who don't believe that there is life after death, why do you behave as if there is something after death? And let me explain that. I mean, we all act atheists as well as believers, usually act most of the time are very civil. They obey laws. They do things, and they're good. They have a good nature, and they do what they're supposed to. Even though the atheists would say, once you're gone, you're gone. And if you don't really care, if you're done after, and that's it, why should you be so good? Why don't you misbehave?
Well, there's a John Calvin and the Calvinist belief. They believe in predestination. They believe that from the time you are conceived and you are born, it is already determined whether you're going to heaven or hell. Now, you ask, how do you know where you're going? And the Calvinists, like you just asked, have an explanation for that. They say the way you behave on earth should give you some indication as whether you are going to heaven or hell. But for those of you who love to read, I recommend highly a short story by Nathaniel Hawthorne, great American writer from back during the Salem witch trials. Okay, obviously lived in Massachusetts. He wrote a story called Young Goodman Brown. Okay, and not wanting to ruin anything, because I really do want you to read it, and I used to teach this in my class. They always refer to each other as brother this or goodman this, because you are a good man. Okay, and his wife's name was Faith. And there were all kinds of women, goody this and goody that, and I honestly don't remember most of the characters. But it's a short enough story where you could read it in one sitting, and it will leave you with food for thought, much food for thought. Okay, it just follows along with tonight's topic of, is death the final frontier, or is there something more? And that's how I'll leave it, because the rest is really up to you. I really want you to read this story. You don't even have to take the book out of the library. All you have to do is take out a book of short stories by Nathaniel Hawthorne and sit at the table and read Young Goodman Brown. I highly recommend his other books as well, a little bit longer, House of the Seven Gables. Okay, some of you might be familiar with that. He's a great writer to read on those dark, wintry nights, okay, and there's nothing on television. Okay, I guarantee you will not be disappointed.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Mark, you're going to have to talk for a little bit. My microphone is out. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, I'm back live. We lost you there for a second, but we're back. But it brings me again to the point, as I said, for people who don't have a future after death, we all most of us behave very well. And a lot of us behave very poorly because they believe there's life after death. And ISIS, people, they believe in what they're doing is going to send them to heaven. So they also believe in life after death. I think a little mixed up from the way we believe in it, but I don't know. I know one thing, there's something within us, within me and Mark. If we believed in life after death or not, I think it wouldn't change how we behave, I don't think. We would still be good people.
No, I'd still be miserable to you.
Well, that's being a good person, because I like it when you're miserable to me. It makes us a little more lovable to the audience. A lot of times, ladies and gentlemen, I look in the Facebook, and I look at certain things that people post. One of my favorite people that I like to hate is Universal One Church, who I just think are not what a church should be.
Wait, I see a name. I feel like Karnak the Magnificent. The name's coming to me. Does it begin with the letter M?
Yes.
And he is a bishop, I believe.
Oh, yes.
A self-appointed bishop.
Absolutely.
That's the only way he'll go.
But
Bishop Brother Michael.
That's it. My favorite. It's called Universal One Church. It used to be what was it used to be called? Universal Life.
No, the First Church of the Gooey Death and Discount House of Worship in Del Rio, Texas. He didn't care if it rained or freezes, as long as he had his plastic Jesus riding on the dashboard of his car.
Exactly.
Amen.
But he puts some stuff on the internet that sometimes is interesting, and sometimes he puts things that I don't think is appropriate for a bishop. And I'm looking for something that he put out that I thought was really in pretty poor taste.
I always thought most of the things he did was in pretty poor taste.
Well, he always copies it from somewhere, so it's usually he's not original in any way. But there's something here. He said, let's see if we can find it. Come on, where are you? We're going to find you soon. I hope it's worth the wait when I finally find it and read you what he said. I'm having a little trouble finding the article, Doc.
Well, that's all right. It'll come to you. I
just have. I guess it's further.
Let's open up the chat room for our viewers who might be a little shy. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, first we're going to promote our show, which we haven't done yet. Send it out to our friends in Facebook, so they know to go watch us, listen to us, I should say. And we're starting the chat room. And now I'll go back and keep looking for this thing while I play a song called Say In You Heaven.